Hello, my beautiful Pisces. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. In today's video, I will be tapping into the energies of your love life. So it's going to be your general love reading for the week here. So pretty much whatever comes out for you guys. Okay. Okay, guys, so we have two cards here. We have gaslighted, manipulated, doubting yourself, twisted truth. And then no contact zone, enforced distance, silence game, still attached. Silence game, sorry. Silence game and still attached. And then on this card, it says you're too sensitive. I never said that. It's all in your head. Huh. Okay, the first thing that I'm getting here for you, Pisces, okay, and I'm intuitively picking up on this. Someone wants your attention, okay? So someone wants your attention or they want you to react to something, but I sense that you're ahead of their games, or I sense that you are starting to see their true colors. So it's definitely someone that you're currently not communicating with, but you may find that this week they are subliminally hinting something at you, or they're doing something, hoping that you will react. So in the past, if this person would purposely do things to trigger a reaction from you, in the now, it's almost like their way of checking if you are still bothered or you still care here. But I see that, their true colors are being revealed. There may be certain things that you called this person out on, but they made you feel bad for it, or they made you feel like you are, like it's all in your head, or, it's not the truth and you're just, overthinking. But it seems to me that you're realizing that the things that you thought or the things that you had a gut feeling about were actually the truth. It's a silence game. It's almost like, do you feel this person is withdrawn, hoping that you're going to initiate a conversation? Or you could be connecting with someone where anytime something goes wrong between the both of you, they resort to silent treatment, but it's not helping you in any way, or helping the connection. And it says still attached. Because what I see, guys, is like it's someone who still feels connected to you, but instead of communicating that, they're trying to like hint something at you or trigger a reaction from you. So some of you could view this person as emotionally immature. And some of you feel like every time you try to express how you feel to this person, it escalates into an argument. I see that this could be a week where you're feeling really stressed out. It does touch on doubting yourself, twisted truth, and manipulated. Like when you express something that feels wrong, right? Maybe their responses are like, oh, that's just you, that's not the truth, or, you're being too sensitive. So they're downplaying your emotions. And maybe you would always kind of, let it go. But I think that you're starting to realize, no, like I'm not the one that is, crazy or wrong. There's truth in how I'm feeling as well. And I don't want to say that this is someone who uses like silent treatment as some form of leverage, but I'm intuitively picking up on someone who wants your attention or who wants you to react. They want a reaction here. Okay? So let's see what's going on. And it's someone who's attached, but they don't want you to perceive them that way. So it could be someone who wants you to view them as like nonchalant, or they don't care, or they're not bothered by this separation. But yeah, that's the furthest thing from the truth here. So let's see. Queen of Cups. Okay, there you are. And then we have the Fool card. Your gut is telling you to let go or focus on something new, right? So here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that there's a new connection in your life, right, Pisces, but I am saying that many of you are wanting to move in a new direction, or maybe, take a leap of faith when it comes to something else or another area in your life here. And the Queen of Cups is all about trusting your gut, right? When you're around this person, does it feel right, or do you feel uneasy? in the current moment, just because you're hurt, right? Because there's, you're not communicating with this person, it doesn't necessarily mean that you should return, right? There's something that your gut is telling you about this person. And this is a strong message about trusting that gut feeling. Even if it's someone who constantly tries to talk you out of the things that you feel very strongly, right? The things that your intuition is telling you. I think that this is a week where you're realizing, no, my intuition is correct, but it's someone who wants to control my thoughts or control my emotions. Okay, so I'm going to start off by seeing how you are being viewed this week. Eight of Cups, detaching, walking away. Here's what I will say. This person is viewing you as detaching or walking away, but they're also viewing you as someone who has always tried time and time again. Like, you don't give up easily. You've been very patient. You've, put your best foot forward. But I think that this is someone who's realizing that every time something went wrong, you would always try to make it better. So I will say that they're acknowledging that, but they're also acknowledging that, okay, well, Pisces has had it up to here, because Eight of Cups is, even though you've tried time and time again, you're realizing that there's a key emotional component that is missing in this connection that is resulting in you telling yourself, you know what, no more, or I'm walking away, or I need to detach here. And for many of you, the emotional component that is missing is you feel extremely misunderstood by this person, and you may feel like your emotions are not they're not being validated, right? Where it's like, if you're expressing how you feel or your concerns or your worries, you may find that this person either deflects or they try to justify what's going on. So it's not really coming from a space of understanding and saying, okay, well, I get that you're concerned, Pisces, and whether it's you need reassurance and I can give you that, it's from a place of there's some sort of control here, or there's a sense of not acknowledging how you feel or downplaying your emotions. And I think that's a big deal, or that's beginning to feel like a deal breaker for you guys. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands followed by the Page of Pentacles in the challenge position. How do I reach out to Pisces? And I'm strongly getting, guys, like, this person could be picking up the phone to call you or send you a message, but I think that they're going to result to doing something subliminally, because these two cards could, well, the pages in the deck are messengers, right? But because it's coming up in the challenge position, this is what they're struggling with. This could be someone who's not used to having to take initiative. This could be someone, who knows that every time there was an issue, you would be the one to reach out. And so in the now, when you're saying, you know what, no, I'm not going to be the one to reach out, right? No, I'm not going to be the glue that holds this relationship together. They don't really know what to do. And I think they're going to resort to either subliminally hinting something at you or doing something to trigger a reaction from you. You're going to know your situation better than I will, right, guys? But in the past, while you were connecting with this person, there could be something in particular that they would do, and it would trigger you, and so you would react. So they could be doing that very thing in the now, but what I see is you're not going to react, because you're a few steps ahead now. You're not allowing this person to tell you how you feel, and you're not allowing them to tell you if your emotions are right or wrong. You're deciding that for yourself. How are you viewing them? Five of Swords. You're feeling very conflicted when it comes to this person. There may be some sort of communication that you're revisiting, even if it's like reading old text messages or revisiting like a conversation that you guys had in person. There are certain things that are not adding up. It's almost like you're realizing the holes in their game. Even if you did not realize that as you were connecting with them, love could be a very blind emotion. You're starting to realize, wait, but that one time they said this, that didn't make sense. Or they convinced me to believe that this is true, but now that I'm seeing things as I'm detaching, or I'm seeing things from another perspective, that was not the truth. So there's some form of emotional manipulation that is resurfacing for you. It's like You know what I'm getting here, Pisces? So when people don't, right? And I'm telling you this because it resonates with your situation. When people don't have control of themselves, you know what they try to do? They try to control the environment, or they try to control people in their environment. And I see this very clearly in the cards. Like, there are many times where what you were feeling was valid, or what you were thinking, or what you had a gut feeling about was the truth. But they may have controlled the situation or controlled your emotions in a way to make you believe that it was not true. So I think you're starting to realize that this person did emotionally manipulate you in one way or another. And I think that you're feeling very mentally conflicted about this person or the situation this week. Ace of Pentacles in your feelings, and the Star card. Many of you are wanting something stable for yourself. There could even be a new opportunity that is making you very happy. For some of you, this is like an opportunity pertaining to your living situation. So whether it's like you're purchasing a home, or maybe you were putting in an offer for, an apartment or that sort of thing. It's something to do with your living situation. So it could even be that I'm picking up on an energy of like, when you change your environment, it's kind of helping you, change your mind and alter your emotions or feel differently. But with the Star card, that is, your journey to healing. That is you accepting a situation for what it is, but it's also you acknowledging your power, right? You acknowledging your worth. And this connection, I mean, it could have, of course, been very overwhelming emotionally, but I think that there are parts of you that you kind of forgot about, or parts of you that were kind of diminished, where, you're reclaiming your power, or you're feeling like, you're feeling like yourself again. You're getting your mojo back. Some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius, Six of Wands, and the Temperance, Sagittarius energy. Wow. That's very powerful, guys. You're walking into some sort of success. I mean, this could resonate differently, right? It could be career for some of you. But with the Ace of Pentacles, I'm specifically getting it's something pertaining to your stability. And what I was initially getting is something to do with your living situation, okay? But the Six of Wands it's a very successful energy. It's when you're headed towards victory, the light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. But the Temperance is also about feeling more emotionally balanced. So there could be something where connecting with this person has made you go within and work on yourself in a way, or it's made you kind of be able to, so when you feel emotions, you're able to sit back and analyze those emotions before acting on it. Do you feel like this is someone who brought out a very reactive side of you, right? And even the things that maybe you felt like were triggering in this connection, maybe you are working through that, right? Because when we feel triggered by something, guys, it's usually for two reasons. Number one, we're triggered because someone is, for example, like if it's someone communicating to you about something that they think you are and you're absolutely not like that, that could be triggering because you feel like someone is accusing you of something. The other thing, or the other reason why triggers could resurface for us is there's some sort of truth behind it or something that needs to be healed. And I think that you're acknowledging that and you're starting to feel more emotionally balanced. Even though what you're going through is very, very tough, Six of Wands, Temperance, Ace of Pentacles, it's a very positive energy. So the worst part of a situation is over. And if you have a gut feeling that, this is very difficult, but I feel like there's something really, much better for me at the end of this, you're absolutely right, because that's what I see in the cards. So we have the Two of Wands, okay, and we have the Tower. Some of you could be dealing with the Scorpio. Yeah. Your reaction, or I should say your lack of in the current moment, is what's stressing this person out. That is the very thing that feels very unexpected, and that is also the very thing that they feel challenged by. It almost seems to me that when this separation occurred, they anticipated that you would reach out, or the both of you would make your way back to each other, and it's not going as planned or how they thought it would how they thought it would in their mind. There could have been a consistent pattern where this connection was like a very on and off connection in the past, but in the now they feel like, well, Pisces is not returning, so what do I do? Because the main block that I see in the challenge position is someone who wants to speak to you, but they don't know how to reach out because they're not used to reaching out. So there could be like a level of comfort that they had in this connection that they no longer have, where it's like, well, I don't think Pisces wants to work anything out with me. I think they're at the point of no return. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups in their feelings, and then we have the Five of Cups. Very disappointed. I think that this person has a lot of regret. Three of Cups could be, someone who's like overindulging, or they're using something as like they're feeding into a coping mechanism that's maybe not the best. But it could be someone who's like avoiding their emotions, right? Or finding some sort of a distraction here. And the Five of Cups is regret. It's disappointment. Someone who feels like you're detaching, you're walking away. They're reminded of you and they are disappointed, but I feel like this is someone who's really struggling with just communicating with you, at least in a mature way. Or they're struggling with, what do I say? How do I approach this? And this person also views you as like an empath, like someone who has the ability to understand them, even if they're not, being vocal about their emotions. The Knight of Swords and the Five of Wands. Yeah, this is someone who feels very, very conflicted. Do I feel that they have a desire to communicate with you? Yes. But when you have the Five of Wands, that could be this person reminded of certain things that occurred between the both of you that they now feel they could have avoided. And the Five of Wands could also be something that's occurring in this person's environment that is impacting them in a negative way. Whether it's like going to a friend for advice and their friend is telling them something that is contradicting what they want to do, right? Or it's just external opinions or someone in their environment that is causing a lot of chaos or drama. They're not happy in their current environment or dynamic, but they're also having a hard time coming out of that. Knight of Swords and the Five of Wands in their feelings, guys, could also be someone who feels like they spoke too soon, or they should have thought about something thoroughly instead of or before communicating it. Because that could be an energy where someone is more focused on, like, a generic example, like someone is more focused on having the last word, right? Instead of understanding where you're coming from. Or someone who feels very angry, so they say something absolutely bizarre in the spur of the moment, but then they later regret it. So we have the High Priestess, followed by the Ten of Cups and the potential outcome. Thinking about what they could have had with you, but they're viewing you as very silent or choosing not to open up to them, feeling like there's some sort of discomfort when it comes to, being vulnerable here. They also feel like there's a lesson or there's something that you've learned from this connection, but you know more than you show, because the High Priestess is a very silent or discreet energy. The High Priestess and the Ten of Cups and the potential outcome could also be someone who is intuitively feeling guided in your direction, feeling uneasy every time they think about you, but I do sense that it's someone who struggles with communication. The High Priestess being clarified by the Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, Ace of Wands. So it's the Seven of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands, Knight of Cups. This person feels like they owe you an apology. Seven of Pentacles is someone who's looking at the connection with you and they're observing it. They may feel like, okay, well, there are certain things that worked out between Pisces and I, but there are other things or other areas where I feel like there's room for improvement. And this person, they want to apologize to you. But digging beneath the surface here, they're also wondering, is this apology going to be worth it? Is it going to change something between Pisces and I, or is Pisces going to choose to be silent with me? That is part of their concern or something that they're fearing, that if they apologize to you, you're still choosing not to, reconnect with them or communicate with them. Okay, so let's see what they want to communicate here. Okay, 1 second, guys. I'll pick up the card I dropped. Okay, reshuffle. What do they want to communicate here? I admire you. I think they also admire the way that you're, handling this situation. Your intellect arouses me. They could find you to be very emotionally intelligent, right? And I did say that this person feels you have the ability to kind of like pick up on how they feel, even if they're not being vocal about it. I hid who I really am from you. So, you know, some of you are aware that this person was wearing a mask. I hide behind material things. So do you feel like this is someone you felt connected to and you tried your best to, you know, create almost like a safe portal for them to open up to you, but instead you feel like they were feeding into either, you know, the material side of things, or they were just focused on the things that don't require them to open up and be vulnerable? Because, you know, you could look at it as, you know, a very materialistic individual, but they were attracted to you for a reason, even if it's because they feel like you were, you know, the complete opposite of them. Okay. So that is what I'm getting for you guys this week. I really do hope you were able to find a message that resonated with you here today. And thank you so much for your time.